So I determine who has the floor. Okay? I may be a young woman, but you respect me.
The record drivers who packed the Harris County Commissioner's courtroom the other day couldn't care less that Lina Hidalgo is a woman. They care about their livelihoods.
There's companies that are going under.
Amanda Santilli cares about her mom's small record company in Pasadena.
Her business is already, after 2 months, having difficulty paying for her $1 million insurance policy that she's required to have.
A lot of small record companies are owned by Hispanic families.
2 trucks. I only have 2 trucks, and that's my only income.
That's got LULAC on fire. County Judge Hidalgo, Commissioner Garcia, they're feeling the heat, so is Sheriff Ed Gonzalez. And it's all because Harris County signed a contract with a company called Texco, aka Auto Return. They claim their software dispatch system will make towing safer.
As soon as a tow is entered into the system, immediately identifies a driver that's the closest one to the scene, and they're being dispatched to the scene like almost immediately.
And hey, Harris County commissioners were told it was free to taxpayers.
We don't even pay for it, the county. This is the cost that's going to go to the constituent if a car's towed.
Constituents. That, folks, is you. How nice. Your car gets smashed up and now the cost of getting it towed away goes up more than $27. Someone at the sheriff's office even had the bright idea of raising tow charges first in one of Houston's poorest communities, just to see how it works, after the contract was signed.
Most of us are Latinos and African Americans, and I mean, it's just the poorest community out of all districts. For them to start it in that district, it's kind of sad to say.
Auto Return was sold as a high-tech way to stop record drivers from racing to the scene. In Harris County, it's been the first 3 records that showed up at the crash site who got to compete for the tow. This contract, it's big money.
If the county tows 80,000 cars, then they're in the millions, off of an app out of California, and it's bullcrap to the citizens. And no, we don't like it at all.
Because there's this practice of rushing to the scene. This eliminates that.
No, it doesn't, Sheriff. Record drivers have already figured out a way to manipulate the app.
You have an incoming call.
Mark Denson of On-Site Towing showed us how.
Disturbance 2507.
Once news of an accident came across police radios, we watched for ourselves as wreckers still rushed to the scene of the accident, all wait near the scene for the ping. But it's a crapshoot, a gamble for the record drivers. It sometimes takes deputies more than an hour to show up to the accident scene. The ping won't come until after that.
There's no safety mechanism, there's no equal distribution of tows. And like I said, on the public safety side, it's causing more trucks to move to one location than before.
Meanwhile, the wrecked cars still stall traffic. Tow trucks, remember, are first responders too.
Things could have ended much differently for Precinct 8 Deputy Lamel, who was inside this patrol car. Richard, the tow truck driver, just happened to be in the area.
I've loaded at least 50% less cars now with this auto return. I haven't even got the first ping on this new system.
The record drivers have found allies in the constable's office. A law enforcement revolt is underway. Look at the post on Twitter from Constable Mark Herman. Stop this madness, Harris County. But we focused our investigation into what's sure beginning to smell like a sham bidding process.
We are the only local company. We are one of the best in the nation, if not the best.
Auto Return wasn't even the low bidder for this towing software deal. A minority-owned firm in Stafford called UR International was.
I think this is a request for offer that allows us to look at the software systems from multiple agencies.
That was the county purchasing agent last October. He's always been a straight-up guy with us. He had relied upon the Harris County Sheriff's Office to examine the competing software systems. Guess what we found out? They never even tested your product.
Well, forget about testing the product. They never even allowed us to, or called us for any demonstration.
The head of the Sheriff's Department Evaluation Committee seemed to be this guy, Captain Anthony McConnell of the Sheriff's Office Vehicular Crimes Division, who sounded a tad defensive on emails about UR's complaints. Quoting, "The bid should have never been accepted. The sheriff's office insisted it only wanted a company that had provided dispatch services for a place with a population larger than 500,000 people. Harris County Sheriff's Office is one of the biggest in the nation. But UR argued they had contracts in big cities like Philadelphia and Detroit. They handle dispatch in the area in Montgomery County. And they have a contract with the city of Houston for more than a decade. After Hurricane Ike left flooded cars blanketing the city, folks went crazy trying to find their towed cars. UR provides a free website for the city, findmytowedcar.com. It's free. And they claim their proposal, unlike auto returns, offers money back to taxpayers.
So assuming that the county was doing 22,000 tows a year, the county would have generated about $220,000 per year.
Doesn't necessarily make them better, but that possible windfall to taxpayers was never even mentioned to county commissioners last year, which is why we wanted to talk to Captain McConnell. But it was pretty clear he didn't want to talk to us. Last year, the county purchasing department asked a good question that we wanted to ask. Did the sheriff's office even bother to investigate auto return success in other towns or complaints? The answer was no. Quoting, "Our decision had nothing to do with what other agencies had to say about the companies. That's dumb." That's dumb. Here's a tip. Before you give out a multi-million-dollar contract to someone, you should really at least check the internet. Back in 2015, the president of the Texas Towing Compliance said the FBI should investigate the awarding of the auto return contract in Austin.
We're all sticking together and we will not tow for a California company.
In Fort Worth, tow truck drivers threatened to stop answering calls if auto return was hired. They were. In Nevada, Allegations Auto Return funneled campaign contributions to get the job. We know at least one of the company's local lobbyists is Houston attorney Daryl Carter. Since 2019, Carter has given $10,000 to Commissioner Rodney Ellis. Since 2018, more than $13,000 to Commissioner and former Sheriff Adrian Garcia. But his biggest contributions have gone to the current sheriff, Ed Gonzalez, more than $15,000. In Pennsylvania, members of a legislative committee questioned the state police contract with auto return.
I think this pilot program is slap in the face to public safety. It's a slap in the face to our emergency responders.
And auto return's conduct in the state of Washington.
You were misrepresenting yourself to Washington then.
We're getting into semantics. Oh, please.
In Kansas City, a federal lawsuit accused auto return of trying to monopolize the towing industry. A longtime Texas lawman told us auto return has bigger plans than just managing towing dispatch. They want tow trucks to take cars to storage lots where they have relationships, then make money off the sale of unclaimed towed vehicles. The website from a company called Joyride advertises auctions coming soon to Houston. Joyride is owned by the original founder of Auto Return.
People are struggling. They're living paycheck to paycheck. To impose an additional $27.50 overnight for a car to be towed, that it's not right and it's not fair.
The Harris County Sheriff's Office is now backtracking, suspending what they say they've always believed was a pilot program for auto return, even though the company is already raking in the fees.
Why pay all the millions of dollars to auto return when they haven't done anything for us or the officers? Instead, give that money for the ones that have done everything. It's officers, better equipment, more units, more officers.